Chas, you have off to your left who is joining us for this interview?
That's Buddy.
Yeah. And what role does Buddy play in life here? He's now heard his name mentioned, and he's moving into a different position.
He probably thinks we're getting ready to feed him again. So Buddy keeps us on our toes.
Your dogs have become a part of this phenomenon that is around Mayor Pete and around your marriage and around your relationship. What roles do the dog play in your life?
Well, they're very vocal. They have a lot of opinions. They like to let everyone know what the real life is like, behind the curtain here, and they're not shy about those opinions either. But we just want them to live their truth, so we're giving them the platform.
Yeah, it sounds like they're budding cable television hosts.
Yeah.
So, Chasten, take me back to the first time you met.
Yeah, here in South Bend. I remember I pulled up, I rented a car, drove over to South Bend, pulled up in front of the house here to pick up Pete, and he opened the door and we both said howdy at the same time. And then I sort of jumped back and he said, wait, what? That's my word. And it was magic ever since, I guess.
And when did you learn that politics played the role in his life that it does?
I mean, he was clever about the photos that he put on his profile. So when someone's standing behind a podium with their name on it and surrounded by people clapping and cheering it, I figured I should probably Google his name, and then found out what role he played. But I didn't really know how to prepare for that, so I figured I'd take a chance. I mean, all of the conversations we had up until our first date were great. He seemed like a really nice guy. But I didn't know how to prepare for what maybe public life or being next to a very visible figure would be like. But on our first date, the way people approached him and talked to him, and then watching the way he responded to people was really refreshing, actually. And I thought, I think I can go along with this. It wasn't as intimidating as I thought it might be.
Describe him around other people, around constituents.
He was always calm. I thought perhaps, when people would approach him, he would maybe deepen his voice or put on a persona, he'd become someone else, this polished political figure. But what I quickly realized was that he was just the same person. We were in the pub on our first date, so we had gotten dinner, and then we went right to a baseball game. And so that's when I saw him interact with people for the first time. A lot of people coming up and asking if they could take pictures with him with their kids. People approaching us at the game wanting pictures and just to say hello or to express their concerns or opinions about things. And he was just really calm and kind to people and was a really great listener. Wasn't defensive at all. I wanted to help.
Mayor Pete, what was the conversation like between the two of you when you decided to run for president?
Well, I think each of us had done a lot of thinking about it. So whenever we were talking about it together, it was largely just kind of, are we ready for this? Are we sure? Are you sure? Am I sure?
But when did you first tell Chasten, did you say, nice to meet you, I'm thinking of running for president? Or when did you let him know that you had these ambitions?
No, Chasten sometimes reminds me about our first date when, he, I think, was maybe a little skittish about being with a politician. And he asked what the future looked like. And the answer I gave was honest at the time, which was, I'm up for re-election as mayor. If I have a really good second term, then in 2020, there's a possibility I might be considered for governor. And, we would take it from there. Neither one of us bargained for this being what 2020 would look like for us.
Chasten, when did the word president come into the household in a serious way?
I specifically remember a moment when we were getting ready for bed and I was folding some laundry and we were just going over his day, what had happened at his political retreat. And he had mentioned, thinking maybe, about running for president. And I remember saying, president? Like, for real? Are you really thinking about that? And that was last year, late summer, I think, when we really started cooking up the idea.